Hi, welcome back to my Read Aloud channel and the book of First Samuel, chapter 1. We are slowly getting into it. Um, yes, so what I was what I want to clear up and also make a decision about is there were a couple of things as I was reading over the references, and I got cut off talking about, I was familiar with the name Jeroboam, so I was mispronouncing the name Jeroham um, as Jeroboam. And secondly, I didn't read the full um, reference because as I was listening to my video, uh, I thought it said to go to First Chronicles chapter 6, 33 through 34. Well, it was 33 through 35. So here's a couple of, guess what? Extra names in that family lineage. So 35 says, yeah, the son of Zuph, the son of Elkanah, the son of Mahath, the son of Amasai. Okay, so you get the idea. And with that, I wanted to say, I think I will not stop at all the references, but it gives you, because I do that myself. I think it's a good habit. Um, and you may want to practice that yourself as well. But I also don't want to break the flow of the chapter, as we're reading together. So I think I'll choose to leave out the references unless, um, I think that having read it before, it's a really important reference to make note of. Okay, so let's get back to chapter 1 of First Samuel. We left off right after the first verse, I believe. Yes, the first verse. Second verse says he had two wives. One was called Hannah, and the other Peninnah. Peninnah had children, but Hannah had none. And we could stop and talk about that. I probably have some things to say about it personally, as I am from a family with a father who chose to have multiple wives. But let's just keep reading. Year after year, this man went up from his town to worship and sacrifice to the Lord Almighty at Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the two sons of Eli, were priests of the Lord. Whenever the day came for Elkanah to sacrifice, he would give portions of the meat to his wife Peninnah and to all her sons and daughters. But to Hannah he gave a double portion because he loved her, and the Lord had closed her womb. Because the Lord had closed Hannah's womb, her rival kept provoking her in order to irritate her. This went on year after year. Whenever Hannah went up to the house of the Lord, her rival provoked her till she wept and would not eat. Her husband Elkanah would say to her, Hannah, why are you weeping? Why don't you eat? Why are you downhearted? Don't I mean more to you than 10 sons? I could gander, I guess. Oh, it seems like he might have a little bit more of an idea. No. Once, when they had finished eating and drinking in Shiloh, Hannah stood up. Now, Eli, the priest, was sitting on his chair by the doorpost of the Lord's house. In her deep anguish, Hannah prayed to the Lord, weeping bitterly. And she made a vow, saying, Lord Almighty, if you will only look on your servant's misery and remember me, and not forget your servant, but give her a son, then I will give him to the Lord for all the days of his life, and no razor will ever be used on his head. Now we see after reading this next portion, even though I made that comment, and I realized right away that, in that culture, she probably is very downhearted just because of the fact that she